Hey Festive friends, Kate here, also known as Festive Flipper across all my platforms. I am pretty much everywhere if you want to look me up. I'm here today to share some of my best sales from November of 2025. Alright, so first up, we have this oversized smiley face colorful patchwork denim jean jacket. It did say size small, but it definitely was oversized. So I made sure that I put that in the listing. I did put in parentheses large because pit to pit measurement really did line up with a large size. So that did sell for my full asking price of $49.99 plus shipping. All of my sales are plus shipping, just so you know. I do not do free shipping at this point in time. I also use the keyword grunge for that listing. All right, next up. Oh, and that jacket I picked up for $5 at a yard sale. If I can remember like what I paid for the item or where I got it, I'll make sure that I mention it. One of the things I'm going to be working on come January 1st is record keeping. I do have my receipts and I like kind of know what I spent on stuff, but I definitely don't have a good system right now as far as keeping track of what I paid for things, what I sold them for, and whatnot. So I'm definitely going to be doing that next year. Okay, so I have this Candace Cameron Burr Wool Blend. Tailored Classic Peacoat Emerald Green 2XL. I did put new without tags on this one because it did still have like the hang tag on the inside and it did not have any signs of wear. It was in perfect condition. That one I did pick up for $1 a few months back at the thrift, and I sold that for $38.49, so it did sell on sale, and that was plus shipping. This coat I also picked up from the thrift a few months ago, around the same time as the green coat I just showed you, and I did get this one for $1 also. This one is an Ann Taylor women's black suede finish coat, faux fur, size medium. I used the keywords mob wife and goth glam. And that one did get a decent amount of attention, and it ended up selling for my full asking price of $54.99 plus shipping. This was a good find. So I learned about these through this other reseller that I watched. He's super nice. He's a fellow believer as well, so I think that's awesome. His name is J Ride Flips. He gets a lot of electronic things, so I like to watch what he's picking up. So it's these Google Nest. It's Wi-Fi mesh system. I also use AI to help me with this listing because I didn't know like exactly what I had. So anyways, it was the H2D router, and then it had two H2E points, and it said that it was whole home coverage. I did pay $6 each for these. It was a thrift store I don't go to all the time. It was about an hour from my house. It was in more of like a city area. I'm in a pretty rural area in southwest Tennessee. But I did pick these up for about $6 each, so I was about $18 in, and they sold for my full asking price of $79.99 plus shipping, so that was really exciting. The ironic thing was, so I'm putting some of my listings on Facebook Marketplace, not a whole lot of things, honestly, because unless it's like a more expensive item, I'm not even putting it on there unless it's like big and bulky and hard to ship, because a lot of times people locally waste your time. So the ironic thing about these Google Nest Wi-Fi thingies, I did get a message through Facebook Marketplace earlier that day, and somebody offered me like $30 for them. And I said no. And then they were like, what about 40? And literally 5 minutes later, they sold on eBay for my full asking price of $79.99. I do have more sales that, that I sold, obviously, besides just what I'm sharing with you guys, but they're just like bread and butter sales, like $10, $12, 14. This was a plate I sold for $7. I really had like hardly any money into it, so I still made a few bucks, but it's just not really worth like sharing. So I'm really just gonna share like the better things. This one I thought would do a little bit better, but I didn't realize it had a flaw. I mean, it technically was fixable, but anyways, I got this out of Plato's Closet, so I did pay up for this. I paid 25, and it was new with the tags, so I thought I was going to get quite a bit for it, but I didn't realize that it had zipper pockets and one of the zippers was like stuck. I tried to mess with it a little bit, but I only tried so hard, and I was like, all right, forget it. So I did sell it for 45. The title was Eddie Bauer New Workwear Chore Coat Green Duck Canvas Barn Jacket. It was a good size. It was an XXL, but then I put read with a little asterisk because obviously I disclosed that the zipper wasn't fully functional. So I was hoping to get more like $60 to $70 for that. The MSRP was over 100, but at least I made almost $20. It sold via promoted listing. So I probably made, I don't know, like 15-ish on that. But at least I got my money back for it and I made a few dollars. This one was a pretty platter that I've had for a while. When I first started reselling, I've been reselling since the beginning of this year and just a teeny bit like at the end of the year before that. But anyways, this woman, she used to have like an antique booth and she closed it down. So she was just trying to get rid of a lot of her things. So I bought a bunch of these decorative like platters and plates. I also bought like an apple shaped cookie jar from her. All of it was 25 bucks. All of it. So it was a really good deal. So one of the things that I just sold out of it, it was a Theodore Haviland USA. Rosalind was the name of the pattern, and it's a oval serving platter, and it has a juice well. So it had like this little spot um, on the side of it where it was like a little indentation for juice to well up in there. So I don't know exactly what it would have been used for. It was really pretty. I think I had it listed higher, but I had it for a little while. So it ended up selling for 30% off and it was promoted. So I didn't make a whole lot on it, but it sold for $18.19. So this one I did get for free. So free is always nice. It did sell on sale. I originally had it listed for like 50 bucks. It was new with tags. It's an Anne Klein double-breasted wool blend A-line coat. I put dusty blue and it was a size XXL and it was new with the tags. So that one, it did sell on sale and promoted listing. So it did sell for $41.29. I'm not sure what I got out of it, but it was free, so free money is always cool. All right, this one was a really good sale. So this one I picked up from a thrift store I don't go to super often. They don't usually have great items, and the stuff that is decent, they kind of price up a little bit. It's kind of like a mom and pop thrift store. But this, I believe they just have priced at $5.99. Really out of the stuff I looked at, it was like the only decent thing in there. I think this is the only thing I bought that day. But it did sell really fast. So this sold in, it was within a week. It might have even been within a couple of days. It's this vintage LL Bean. When I looked it up with AI, it said it was probably from the 80s. So I put 1980s chore coat barn jacket, flannel lines, olive canvas, and it was a men's XL. So it was also a good size. So again, I picked it up for $5.99 and it sold within a week from my full asking price of $69.99 plus shipping. So that was just so super exciting. It was in really good condition. It didn't have any flaws or anything. It did have a little bit of wear, but nothing bad at all. So I was really excited to make that profit on that one. So this one I sold once before and it came back, and then it sold again. So this is a Netgear Nighthawk Wi-Fi 6 stream cable modem router. And then it's got like the model name. I'm not going to say all the letters and numbers. But this originally sold pretty quickly for like $150 plus shipping. So this is also a BOLO, by the way. I'm learning that some Wi-Fi routers don't sell for much at all or have a very slow sell-through rate. I think this one was about a 50% sell-through rate, and obviously it's a good margin on this particular model. So it originally sold for like $150, and then the buyer opened a case saying that like it wasn't working for them or something. So nothing was actually wrong with it. They just couldn't get it to work properly. So I got the item back, got it relisted, and I probably could have waited and got more for it, but someone offered me $115 plus shipping, and I kind of just wanted to move it and get that money for like Christmas gifts and whatnot. So I did accept that, and that buyer left me a positive review. So nothing was wrong with it. It just wasn't working for that particular buyer. But this I picked up for only 15 bucks, which I'm also learning, like sometimes you need to pay up a little bit for things. For example, like that, and then the Google Nest, I paid $18 for the Google Nest, sold it for 80, and then paid 15 for this Nighthawk router, and then sold it for $115. So sometimes you do have to pay up a little bit, and then to make like a decent margin. But I'm just really trying to focus more on sell-through rate now because I picked up a lot of bad stuff at the beginning. I'm still not picking up great stuff, but it's okay. Make sure you stay till the end of the video because you're going to hear a win for me. That was something that I had for a very long time, and it finally sold, so make sure you watch till the end. All right, this one, this is a pretty hot item right now. So these like Y2K sweaters and jackets with the fur line hood, a lot of people are looking for those. This was an Aeropostale Y2K blue plaid fur hood, and it was wool. And I put cropped jacket, and I use the keyword Bella Swan because this is very on trend with what she would have worn during that time. So I think I might have paid $5 or less for this. This came from a yard sale. It was like a reseller, just getting rid of all their inventory. I've made such a killing off of all the stuff that I got from that sale. So this, I had it listed for, I think $69.99 plus shipping. I got an offer for $60, so I went ahead and accepted it. It wasn't listed for long, maybe just like a couple weeks, but that's okay. If I get a reasonable offer, I'm gonna accept it. It's when I get like a half price offer and like I did my research and the comps are showing that like it's going for quite a bit more, then I'm not going to accept it. But if it's an offer that's pretty close to the price I'm asking, I usually just accept it. This is another item I got for free. So my neighbor a couple months ago was moving out, so they were having a yard sale. I did pick up a few different things. I already made my money back. I was looking at this. I wasn't sure if I wanted it. I think they wanted like $5. I wasn't sure if I was going to buy it, but they told me to just take it for free. They probably just wanted to get rid of it. So this was a hard plastic cowgirl hat can carrying case. I put Western Rodeo hat protection, and then I put hot pink. I did use the word hat twice. I'm noticing that now. But that's okay. So I think I had it listed for like 60 bucks. I ended up accepting an offer for 42.50 plus shipping. So that was a nice sale. I will say that was really interesting to package and ship it because it was kind of like an octagon shape and the bottom of it was very big and then it tapered so the top of it was smaller. So it was kind of a challenge getting it properly like wrapped and I had to like do a Frankenbox on it. But it worked and it was free money, so that was cool. All right, so this I had for a little while. It did get a lot of attention. I don't know if I just had it listed too high or what, but it's a DKNY vintage 90s Y2K black velvet burnout silk evening gown, and I used the keyword whimsy goth. I think I had it originally listed like around 60-ish, and it finally sold for 42.30 on a sale that I was running. Next up, I went to this yard sale. It was like a yard sale slash estate sale. It was an older woman. Her mother had passed away the year before that, and she was just selling a lot of her things. So she had a lot of these cool, like vintage nightgowns and stuff, and they were in really good condition. So this one was a set. It had the nightgown and the robe with it. So it was a vintage Dixie Belle red satin nightgown robe set, size extra large or 42. And I used loungewear and peignoir, if I'm saying that right, in my listing. It did sell via promoted listing, but it did sell for my full asking price of $67.99 plus shipping. I wasn't exactly sure like what to price it at, so I just aimed a little high and that one sold. I do have another one that is still for sale around that amount. So we'll see how long that one takes to sell. Another thing that I sold, I've had it for a little while. It was an exciting find. I've seen a lot of these sold, but I've mostly just seen like the white ones. I haven't seen a calico one like this before. It's a ceramic calico Persian kitty cat statue, vintage. I put rare, white, gray, and orange. I did say rare because through my research I did not find any other colorway like this. So I did have it listed for higher. It did get some attention, like it was in people's carts and stuff. But somebody finally sent me an offer. I forget exactly what the offer was, but I countered back with $64.97 plus shipping and they did accept it. It was promoted listing, and I will say that was definitely interesting to ship as well. That I picked up from a yard sale for 50 cents. So that was pretty exciting. All right, so this one was a vintage Two's Company silver clad pumpkin or gourd, harvest, fall, autumn, and I put rustic. This was a really cool piece. It actually was pretty heavy for its size, and I could barely see like the sticker on the bottom, but I could just make out like the maker. I did have a hard time finding any comps on this, so I kind of just made up my own. Um, Anyways, so it did, I think I had it for around 50 or something, and it must have sold, like when it was on sale, it sold for $45.87 plus shipping, and it was a promoted listing. That I picked up quite a while ago from the thrift for just a few dollars. I did really well at this particular yard sale. It was one of those yard sale slash estate sales, and we just had a whole pile of stuff, and I paid like $10 for everything. So that was pretty awesome. So I probably have literally like pennies into each thing. So this was a new old stock Vogart Crafts Wild Rose tablecloth for embroidery or painting. It sold for $19.99 plus shipping. I sold this Patricia Nash Cantanella crochet flower purse handbag with bamboo handles, and I put boho. That I got at an estate sale a few months ago. It was priced at $24, but I got it on half price day, so I paid $12, and I sold it pretty quickly for a full price of $67.99 plus shipping. I sold this North Face jacket. I picked this up actually on my street for a few dollars, and this did sell within the week. So it was the North Face jacket, men's large, black, waterproof, high vent raincoat, parka, and it sold for $31.49 plus shipping. Okay, so I got this at an estate sale. I honestly had this in my death pile for quite a while. It was just kind of like a project. So, one thing that was going on with this one, I don't know why, but it had like some kind of like putty stuff on it. It's a Wii Sports console bundle with controllers plus cords, games, white, and I put tested because I did test it out. So I had to put a little effort into cleaning this one. I don't know why, but it had like white putty on a few of the accessories and like in where the screws are, like on the console and stuff. So it must be like when it was set up so it didn't slide around, they like put putty on it. I don't know. But it was originally like $45 at an estate sale, and I got it on half price day. And I did sell it very quickly for $80. I had it listed higher than that. I had it listed for, I don't know, 90 to 100 or something like that. But this was a repeat buyer, and they asked if I would take 80, so I did accept that. All right, so now I'm going to share an item, two items I sold as a bundle. I probably should not have picked them up. Honestly, they were stained. I had to do quite a lot of work to clean them, get the stains out, wash them several times. So I did not take a close enough look at them at the thrift store before I bought them. They probably came from the same person because they were the same brand, the same size. They finally sold. I had these things listed for months and months and months. I did only pay $1 each. I thought anything Eddie Bauer was good. So I finally sold these. I was so happy just because I put in so much work and effort, and they finally sold and I made a little money. So it was these Eddie Bauer set of two wrinkle resistant relaxed fit men's size extra large button down shirts. So they sold for $24.97 plus shipping. I was like so excited when these things sold because it was one of those things that I thought I was probably going to have to like redonate them. So I felt like that was such a victory, and I learned my lesson. I will not be picking anything up like that next time. All right, so I saved the best for last. Now, it was kind of hard to do comps on this one. I did not find this exact kit. It's a craft kit. I could not find this online anywhere. I did see one that was similar. It was almost the same, except it was like a different like numbered set um on Etsy, and it was listed for over $300. So I did have mine listed a little over 300 just to see what it would do. It got a lot of attention. I only had it listed, I think, within a couple weeks to a month, something like that. This is from a yard sale. It was that yard sale where the same one where I got that tablecloth that I sold for $20. So it was just like a big bag of like craft stuff. Some of it was not opened. So again, I paid $10 for everything I got that day at the sale. So I have pennies into this. It's a vintage 1960s Bucilla, Bucilla, I think it's Bucilla correct me in the comments, please. But anyways, it was a felt Christmas ornament kit, and the set was called Jeweled Carolers, and it was set number 1536. So I could not find this online. Again, it was new. So I had it listed over 300. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but somebody offered me $253 plus shipping. So I accepted that in a heartbeat. So I was just so excited. I mean, it's not often that you get like such a big sale like that, and it was just like this little tiny felt craft kit. I mean, it was really cool, but I mean, obviously they don't make it anymore. Somebody really wanted it, so I was more than happy to sell it for $253. So that was just so exciting. Those were some of my best sales for November. I hope maybe you learned something to watch for when you're out in the wild. Please do subscribe. This is a new channel, but I do plan on posting weekly videos on like what's sold, and also things that I pick up, or things also that I learn are BOLOs, which stands for be on the lookout for. I would love to have you subscribe and become part of my festive family here. Also, I am going to be doing a whatnot show pretty soon, probably within the next couple of days. I am clearing out a lot of my inventory. So I have men's, women's, kids clothing that I plan on selling for super cheap. So please come follow me over there. My name is Festive Flipper across all platforms. So come and give me a follow and you'll be notified when I go live. Stay festive. Bye.